What is your habit? What is it? If you don't have one, then I have a hobby for you. The fabulous designer Guerlain does not need any introductions at all. Having given us beautiful fashion and stunning mind-blowing fragrances for over 100 years. One of the outstanding fragrance lines is the Habit Rouge line. Today there are around 20 flankers or so since its launch in 1965. Back then it was the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum in the same year. Both of these are still available and still sell today. It doesn't matter which one, the Eau de Parfum or the Eau de Toilette can be worn today without hesitation if you like a beautiful, sort of unique fragrance with a touch of old school. Elegance in a bottle, truly. Especially if you love fragrances, then you should at least get your nose on these, classic masterpieces. I wear them when I want to get away from the overly linear, sweet fragrances of today. I like to be wowed with a fragrance. Let me know if you agree with the overly sweet statement in the comments. Naturally, I was super thrilled to hear that some of the new flankers being released from the Habit Rouge line. After all, since the last one were released in 2015, 16, 17, and 18, they were called dress code. By the way, if you find any of them anywhere for a good price, you need to pick them up. Today, if you look online for a dress code bottle from Habit Rouge, it'll be somewhere around the 250 US today. So if you find it at a good price, go ahead and snatch it up. The dress code fragrances are perfect if you like some leather, sweet praline, vanilla, and a touch of rose. Of course, with the original Habit Rouge scent in the background. And now, let's get into the 2022 release, Habit Rouge l'Instant. We also will do the 2023 Privé, Habit Rouge Privé, and the newest Habit Rouge, the Parfum version from 2024. I don't quite remember what I thought or what I was expecting when I got this one. It really wasn't, a lighter version of Habit Rouge, to be honest. The original scent profile of this one is still going to be in the background. However, it is going to be rather faint. If you don't have any experience with the originals yet, then you will probably not draw any comparisons to the originals. The EDP from 1965 was a denser sort of opening of citrus, including some oranges and tangerine. The carnation and rose of the original also are much more powerful in the original, lending it sort of an old school vibe. L'Instant, there is no rose. However, it is more of a citrus green opening in L'Instant. The green nuance is strengthened by a cannabis note, and the floral note is tamed by a little bit of a mott note. There's also some leather and patchouli and vanilla listed, but these notes do not stand out on their own. L'Instant is a great way to get into the Habit Rouge sort of scent profile without being too old school, since it feels more like a contemporary sort of fragrance without being overly sweet. It is on the masculine side, and the performance is around average. It almost has a bit of an aquatic sense to it. If you like the YSL Wise, although it is less sweet, or the Acqua di Gios by Armani, then you might enjoy this one with a touch of timeless Habit Rouge in the background. As a side note, Habit Rouge l'Instant is a splendid fragrance for the summer, and the performance goes up in the heat just a little bit. For me, this is a super addition to the Habit Rouge line, perfect for summer. Let's get right into the next one. It's going to be Habit Rouge, and it is the Privé. For you guys out there who want a deeper sort of experience, more along the lines of the original, then the 2023 Habit Rouge Privé is the right way to go. It's the perfect choice. All the goodness of the original with a big dose of ginger. There is iris that is listed in the note breakdown, but don't get your hopes up on this one, because if you're an iris lover, it's merely second to the orange blossoms in here. So you're not going to pick up a lot of iris. Like I said, mostly orange blossom. I am willing to go as far as saying Habit Rouge Privé is a bit heavier than the original EDT. Online, The talk is going as far as to compare it to the original Shalimar. Remember this one? However, I don't really see that, not to my nose. Perhaps it is the denseness of, that is a factor in the comparison. Also, the Eau Sauvage Parfum had been mentioned in some comparisons, this one right here. And once again, I don't see it either. Perhaps there is, the beautiful sort of mature, old school vibe that makes people think it smells a little bit like that. Who knows? To me, it doesn't smell like Shalimar or Eau Sauvage. For me, this is a true compliment to the Habit Rouge line. A deep leather patchouli, and some ginger Habit Rouge. As far as the performance on this one goes, you get at least 7 to 8 hours with the appropriate protection. This 2023 Habit Rouge Privé is going to have a smaller appeal to the younger crowd. It is not sweet enough, most likely, for today's noses. Still, I wouldn't write it off. Do try to get your nose on it and make sure to spray it on your skin. You might be surprised by the modern twist of a true classic Guerlain fragrance, perfectly suited for the colder weather. Let's move on to the brand new 2024 Habit Rouge Parfum. While the Privé may not be, the Habit Rouge for younger noses, the Parfum will appeal to everyone. It is probably one of the best releases of 2024 so far, at least in my opinion. As a side note, the perfumer on all three of these is Delphine Jelk, the perfumer behind all of these, L'Instinct, L'Instant, Rouge, and Parfum. When it comes to the Habit Rouge Parfum, I would have thought it would smell like, Privé, to be honest. A deeper, more powerful Habit Rouge, since we have the EDT and the EDP already. Instead, you get a beautiful combination of vanilla, rum, yes, rum, such a good note, bergamot, and patchouli. At least those are the notes listed. I do get a little bit of, some ambery vibes here, which is not listed. And as you know, the note breakdown is really only as a guide, for the consumer. I personally had to hunt this one down in Europe on my vacation. I was very, very happy to find out that the hunt was worth it. The perfume is bright, it is sweet, and it is, full-bodied. The warm sweetness of the rum is noticeable, and the original scent profile is also there. This time it is muted behind some delicious vanilla, a little bit of booze. Much less old school than the Rouge Privé and much deeper than L'Instant. Online, the comparisons of this one are to the earlier dress codes. Remember we were talking about them? Versions of Habit Rouge. So this one might be a good one to pick up because you can get it at a decent price, much less than the dress codes. For me, this Parfum version is a perfect companion for someone who enjoys fragrances like Dior Homme Original without the iris, or L'Homme Ideal without the almond. Another one that would sort of come to mind is Givenchy's Reserve Privé. Many of you like this one, and this is along those lines. If you like those fragrances, then this would be a sure bet for you with a hint of Habit Rouge. I love wearing this one. The performance is as good as the Privé, and is the projection, 7 to 8 hours. Habit Rouge Parfum is cozy, it is warm, it is best suited for cooler days. However, I don't object to wearing this one in an air-conditioned space. It is so good.
Absolutely scrumptious.
This is the one if you want a Habit Rouge without, the rose note or the carnation note, in other words. Habit Rouge Parfum is sort of a tamed old school vibe, but still a super elegant compliment getter. Let me know what you think in the comments. I had fun. I hope you did. I hope you go in and get the Habit Rouge. Let me know which one you like the best. Take care. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.